Speak about myself. So I am currently working in a data analytics field that is a service sector company, and I'm having around 7+ years of experience. And in this role, currently I am running SQL means queries to prepare the proper reports. I have experience in SAS also to do the reporting as well as running the codes. And after that, I'm mostly into Power BI. I have exposure to Tableau also, and apart from this one, if you'll say I have exposure to Alteryx also. In the previous organization, I was working in Alteryx, where I was creating the pipelines and the workflows. And apart from this one, I think currently web analytics also I'm having. So these are some of the roles that I handle in my current organization.
Okay.
And from expectation wise, so what I'm looking into, so I'm looking into cloud to be a cloud engineer, and specifically for Azure because I'm also currently exposed to Databricks also. So I know how to run in Databricks, how to create notebooks in Databricks, and how to run the query. So mostly the reporting part in Databricks I am already aware of because I'm using that. And we have also our own Azure portal also from which we pull the data. So I'm looking into the engineering side, so creating pipelines with just like from data lake and data warehouses, managing those stuffs. And as you can say that cloud Azure engineering are previously it was something different and now they have been migrated into fabrics. So I am also looking into fabric engineering as well as reporting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good to know, Sabyasachi, your experience and yeah. So you have done like basic on like cloud, just want to check like, or you just worked on the Databricks only?
So basically, I have done on AWS on myself. By the company, it was not exposed. So basically, I have done on AWS. Basic means how to create instances, how to do all this basic means AWS fundamental data fundamentals. So
Okay.
that was from Coursera or Udemy. I'm not sure, but the last organization that we are in, we were supposed to take that course. So we did it.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Good to know about your experience and the expectations. So let me share my screen and I'll explain the course content and my experience.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, so I have like around 17 years of strong IT experience. I'm being into big data analytics field like around 8 years. I have like worked into banking and finance domain, automotive domain, like manufacturing industry,
Mm.
healthcare domain, telecom domain, and e-learning domains. So I'm having like different industry domain experience as well within
Mhm.
these 17 years. Like presently, like around 6 to 7 years, I'm playing roles of Azure data architect role. I'm working on the Azure Big Data Technologies. I'm playing other roles as well, like product manager, scrum master, risk manager roles as well. So that's about my experience. And then coming specifically to the Azure technology suite, I'm working on the Microsoft Purview, which is data governance tool, Azure Data
Mhm.
Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Explorer, Azure DevOps. I have experience into the CI/CD, like writing automation for Azure PowerShell script, doing the deployments using ARM template, and also the latest one that is Microsoft Fabric. It's not updated here in this slide. So I have
Mhm.
done the setup of Microsoft Fabric also in the organization. So
Mhm.
that's again a dedicatedly separate, what I can say, separate course. But this course, the data engineering course, will form the foundation of that course. So all
Mhm.
the technologies that you will learn here as part of the data engineering course will be also there into Fabric, but those are blended in a different way actually. The functionalities or the features which are there into the individual standalone services are different within the Fabric. but this will make you like the conceptualization clear into the fabric actually. So that will be the difference between the data engineering course while you learn about these services and you learn the fabric separately. Also, I have experience into the Azure Machine Learning Studio, Azure OpenAI, Azure SQL Database, Azure Storage Accounts, ADLS Gen 2, Azure Key Vault, virtual machines, and somewhat on the networking side. So as part of that's about my introduction. As part of the data engineering course, uh, this exam, I'll cover the syllabus of DP 203 exam certification. So which will consist of the designing and implementing the storage solutions, develop and data processing. So which will be as part of Synapse Analytics and Databricks. So this will be mostly related to Synapse and Databricks part. Then data security monitoring optimization. So this will consist of the role-based access control. Also, it will consist of the Microsoft Purview. So they have initially Microsoft Purview was not part of this course, but they have introduced that as well, like one session on that as well. So exam will be of like 180 minutes and it will have the random questions generated for different users actually, or different candidates between 40 to 60. So partial correct answers will also have marks for it. There is no negative marking system. So there are like no labs or practicals you need to do here. There will be like SQL related language questions will be there, but as such, no programming related questions will be there. So most of
Mhm.
the questions will be scenario based questions, and you will have like multiple true false options or case study or scenario based questions, multiple choice questions. So different types of questions will be there in the exam. So the course that I will take is based on some theoretical sessions first, and I'll show the practicals also of the technology. So within this, we will cover Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse Analytics, and um, the storage account also I will cover, and then Stream Analytics and Event Hub. So those core things I will be covering, and the as whole syllabus of DP203. So that will help you to complete the certification also if you are planning to go for the certification.
So actually, I'm planning for certification at a later point of time. So I'm planning currently to have the knowledge first. And so let's say that it will be a regular class. What will be the class duration and per day, how much hour you will be interacting with me?
1 hour daily, and it will be around 20 hours.
20 hours
Yeah.
for data engineering.
Yes.
Means let's say it will be around 1 month of class.
Yes. And same will be for Fabric also.
Same will be for fabric also. So let's say that I complete this course and how much experience I can put on my resume after this.
So you can put up to 2 to 3 years as a data engineer, you can put in.
Okay, so if I will put into roles and responsibility, I can put into 2 to 3 years. And may I know that how many projects we will be covering within this?
So as such, we will not be covering the project for each stage while we learn these different technologies. So this will be in pieces actually. So
Uh-huh.
we will be going through the configurations of the, let's say, for example, Azure Databricks is there or Azure Data Factory is there. We will
Mhm.
understand the best practices, configurations, and how to use that service. And we'll go through some samples of that labs. So that we will go through, and then we will understand each service in detail and how to integrate these services, different services that we will go through. So
So
as hmm,
I'm not asking about a complete capstone type of project. I'm asking that just like the scenario based projects that we happen to come across in the organization, upload this data, transform
yeah,
this data.
that we will cover as part of the individual services. Let's say when we learn Databricks, We will upload some files, we will do processing, we'll create data frames, we'll do processing on it. When we will learn about data factory, we will do data copy activities, let's say from storage account to Azure SQL database. So likewise, we will also learn the transformations within data factory. So same thing we will be doing in Synapse Analytics separately. So as such, we will not be going through capstone project, but at individual service level, we will be doing the labs or practicals,
Okay.
which are like company-based scenarios actually. Copying data from one location to another, what kind of transformations you will need. So we will also learn like different data sources, why we need the data engineering concept. So what are the different steps? If you are not familiar with, we'll go with the cloud concepts as well and the comparison between the on-prem and cloud. So that also we will see here. Then we will be seeing the types of data. For example, the structured data, most of the time still now we are dealing with the relational tables, only relational data
Yes,
stores.
structured data.
Yeah, that is structured data. Then we will also have the unstructured data, which is raw data, text files, for example, reviews on any product site or reviews or comments on a blog post. So image processing, video. So like storing that kind of data also, where we will store, how we will store it. Then semi-structured data, JSON, XML files. And then that we learn about this, then we'll be learning about the data sources, different data sources. What are the end-to-end life cycle? That is important factor. Like you are mostly working on the data analyst role or Power BI role. So what's happening in the backend, that we will learn as part of this course, the end-to-end process. We'll learn about the on-prem versus cloud concepts, comparison of the cloud providers we have. Then we'll learn about the basics of Azure. If you are already familiar, we'll skip that sessions as well. So we'll have these additional sessions as part of this course. And we'll also learn about the hierarchy, how the subscriptions, management groups, resource groups work in Azure portal, that we will also learn. And along with that, then we'll learn in detail about the services, Azure Data Factory, Synapse Analytics, Databricks, all those services we will learn. So as part of the data engineer responsibilities, you need to bring the data from multiple heterogeneous systems into cloud first, then perform like transformations using either Data Factory or Databricks or Synapse. And you should be familiar with SQL, PySpark, and Scala to execute the code in Databricks or in Synapse. And then after doing the data processing, either it can be used or consumed for AI/ML related part or the reporting part, that right now you are working on this area actually. So
Mm.
in the backend, the data engineers will be bringing the data from the multiple systems, consolidating that data into, let's say, Azure storage account or Azure data lake storage. So we will learn the what is storage account, ADLS Gen 2, how to store the data, how to access it, how to integrate that with, let's say, Azure Data Factory, how to copy that data from ADLS Gen 2 to Azure SQL database. So that kind of things we will be doing as part of this prior part that you are not like worked till on. So based on that, like we'll be working with CSV files, Excel files, and like TXT files, Parquet file format is there. So we'll understand the different types of data and the file formats, the different data sources, how to integrate those. All those things we will learn within this course, and we'll learn these services in detail.
And for Fabric, just from the questions, so for Fabric, will it be what will be best suitable for me? Just like for Fabric, it will be Fabric Analytics or Fabric Reporting.
So Fabric, like it depends on you what exactly you want to go again. If you have like already familiarity with this one,
Mhm.
Can you see my another PPT?
Yeah, it's visible.
So there is a DP 600 course examination is there, implementing analytics solution using Microsoft Fabric, which will consist of the lake houses, data warehouse solution, notebooks. So like if you are just interested in reporting, then you go into that reporting related part only. But whatever the services we are learning in data engineering will be also part of this, but in a different format.
Mhm. So I
So if
think both ways I should learn that how to be an engineer as well as how to use it
that
for.
will help you for long career aspect
Yeah.
actually. So this is right now in this is recently GA from Microsoft, this Microsoft Fabric tool.
Mhm.
So this is like fully SaaS based tool, and the services that we see, Data Factory, Databricks, those are platform as a service. So
Mhm.
we will see those differences also, like what is infrastructure as a service, PaaS, and SaaS. So basically within SaaS, it's like similar to Outlook or Gmail. You are just using or configuring the accounts and you are directly using it. You are not worried about like what's happening in the backend. Like usually you will have the three systems like front end, middleware, and the API systems and the backend systems.
Mhm.
So you are not worried what's happening in the backend in all these systems, how the service provider is managing those. So you will just start to utilize it for your business use case or business applications directly. So
Mhm.
for example, you have to set up the separate Gmail or Outlook. You need to configure the databases, the APIs, all the programming required to like in inbox, outbox, how to manage all those things. You need to configure those things separately. So
Mhm.
you are not worried about creating those things. You are as an end user, your main focus is to utilize the email functionality for your business. Let's say within the offices. If the offices try to build up their own solution, they will invest lot of time and effort, and unnecessary they will not focus on to their business use case. So that is how the SaaS products come into picture actually, where like readily available functionalities will be provided with some charges to the organizations from these cloud providers, and these ready to use services you can use for building up data analytical solutions. So you
Mhm.
do not invest time into managing, configuring these services. You focus on your application or the business use case.
Mhm.
So that is the purpose of bringing this fabric architecture actually. So if you see, it is a combination of data factory. It also consists of Synapse. It also consists of Synapse data warehouse, data science, which is similar to machine learning, and Synapse real and time analytics. It is nothing but the Azure Data Explorer service. So there are
Mhm.
multiple individual standalone services are there. So after doing the research and taking feedback from the multiple customers, Microsoft came up with this Microsoft Fabric solution, which is SaaS-based architecture. So right now in like individual systems, like every project will have its own ADLS Gen 2 account or storage account or SQL database to store the data. It will again have separate services like Synapse or Databricks or again ADF for data processing purpose. And again, it will be using Databricks for machine learning, let's say. And you will have the Power BI for reporting purpose or Tableau, which will you connect to these data sources. So imagine that like multiple projects are there within the organization. They will be doing the similar setup separately as part of individual projects. So with
Mhm.
respect to Fabric, what they bring is like all the services in one umbrella, where depending on your need or project need, you will use those services. So you do not need to create these separate services each time.
Mhm.
And all, so this is basically enterprise level solution, we can say, Microsoft Fabric, where
So
Hmm.
To access both, let's say Azure service and Fabric services, should I create my own account and or I can use my organization account?
So for Fabric, you will need your organization account, but that also you need to check internally, like if you can enable that, you will have like 60 days trial version, which you can use. For
Mhm.
the other services, you can use like free trial version, like if you have not already created the Azure portal account, 1 month you can use it for free with 200 credits. But for Fabric, organizational account is required. So if you want to use it separately, there are different steps like to use it like person with personal accounts. So it is not given to like everyone actually. That is also challenge because that's why it is enterprise level solution actually. So all the projects should use the one single Fabric account across the organization, and it's having concept of one lake actually, where all the data will be stored in single storage across the organization. And of course, there will be segregation of roles and access.
Mhm.
So there will be
So
concept of
if
workspaces. Hmm.
so if I'm learning about Microsoft Fabric architecture, then I'll be going through creating the one leg or accessing the one leg, or my roles and responsibility will be limited to some features only.
That depends on the use case base again. In any scenario, either you go for data engineering or Fabric, it depends on where in which project you get fit for. For example, in some cases, you just have the requirement of bringing the data from one location to another location.
Mhm.
In some cases, you have the transformation also. In some cases, you will be using, let's say, the machine learning AI related models as well. In some cases, it will be reporting. In some cases, there may not be reporting. You will be just doing some transformation, sending it to some downstream applications for consuming into that web-based application, let's say. So there can be a number of like real-time scenarios. So
So while learning this one Microsoft Fabric, will you be letting me know that all these things?
yeah, I will
Or
explain like, yeah. So for example, you are like machine learning engineer, then your focus will be on data science related part.
Mhm.
You are working as a data engineer, then your main focus will be on data engineering, data warehouse, data integration, like data factory related part. So those roles also we will learn. I have that table as well. That is a different one. I have like one table also explaining that. So that also we will see. So if you see in this table, the data engineering responsibilities will be designing and developing these data ingestion pipelines and transformation logic. So for that, you will be familiar with Python, Scala, and if you are working in Azure, you will be working on ADF, Synapse, and Databricks and the storage accounts mainly. If you are data architect, you will be involved in the strategies and you will choose which services to be used. You will design the architecture, end-to-end architecture, and along with the team, you will work long path to implement that solution. So data modeling, database design, so those kind of things will be as part of the data architect role, which services to use, how to use it efficiently, how to optimize the performance, how to optimize the cost of the services. So those will be mainly as part of the data architect who will work with each role actually. And data engineering will be mainly focused on bringing the data into cloud, doing some transformations. So for example, you are a data analyst, you are working from the reporting side. You know what kind of reports are expected by the, let's say, end users. So you'll ask what are the input data that you need. You will ask to the data engineer, like, bring that data to this location for me. I need to create these kind of reports. So that way, these various roles will interact with each other.
So currently, I am a data analyst. I am
Yeah,
looking into just like a future growth. So I'm not interested in data scientist because there is a lot of coding involved, just like
yeah,
what I learned
yeah,
into machine
yeah.
learning and all those things, k square, k mean square, nearest variable, all those algorithms. So I'm
Yeah.
looking into data engineering. So after data engineering, it will be data architect, or
Yes,
after data
yes.
architect, it will be data engineering.
No, no. First, it will be data engineer. And then as you grow your experience, as you have the hands-on experience into like building up these solutions, then you will move to data architect role.
Okay, assuming I am into Azure data engineering, then should I learn? No, I will say not say well versed, but I have intermediate exposure to Python. I will not say that I am a well versed Python developer, but as a data analyst, whatever is required from Python, I have that. So will that be sufficient, or should I
Yes.
be also learning for Scala, also PySpark, also?
So PySpark will be like on the go we'll learn. So if you are aware of Python, we'll learn PySpark within the Databricks or Synapse also. So we will learn about that structure. So
And
as
Scala
such,
is necessary.
Scala is not required as such. So
Okay.
it's not mandatory. So PySpark, mainly PySpark will be used and Spark SQL. So Spark SQL is similar to the SQL language,
I think Spark SQL is used in
Databricks.
some data
Hmm.
breaks because the coding part is different from a basic MS SQL.
So as part of the data engineering course, we'll not be going much deeper into Databricks again because Databricks is a separate data. There is a separate data engineering certification for Databricks again. So that will
Means,
again.
so let's say that I'm taking the data engineering course. So can you say me what will be the distribution of hours in each of the segments? Just like how much we will learn in data factory, in data breaks, and how much hours we will invest in all these things.
Yeah, that I will give. So most of the time we will be spending on the Synapse analytics. Couple of hours will be there, like around 2 to 3 hours on Databricks, around 5 hours on to 4 to 5 hours on to storage account, ADLS Gen 2, and 3 to 4 hours on Azure Data Factory. And along with that, also we'll be learning the couple of hours understanding the process and end-to-end flow. So that will be initial sessions. And then we have stream analytics and event hub. So that's not mainly used. So if we do not want to go on those, we can learn about the other services where you have keen interest. We can extend those. For example, mainly for data engineer, you will be working on data factory and Databricks and Synapse. So Synapse anyway will be covering all the topics within Synapse as part of that DP203. And you will be also learning the concepts and the practicals and the architecture of the each service, the configurations. So as a data engineer, you should be able to tell like which service to use and when to use, how to configure that service. So those things we'll be working on.
Okay.
How to integrate these different services. So that will be covered as part of this course. And you will
And
learn.
for
Hmm.
Fabric, just like this kind of hourly distribution.
So there will be like initially some concepts, workspace, concept related couple of hours it will take. And then each, again, these sessions will be there like on individual components of Fabric architecture. Again, data factory, let's say 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours on each one.
Mhm.
Some conceptual understanding initially on the architecture components. So each way we will be more time will focus on the lake house.
Okay.
That's again similar to data engineering,
Okay.
where you will spend a lot of time, the data engineers will spend a lot of time bringing the data, playing around the data, doing transformations, all those things.
Okay.
So once you learn AD, this will be also easier for you. You will be able to compare the services, and whatever you learned there, you will be able to map it here.
So in total, if you will say me, both Fabric and AD will be taking 40 hours.
Yes.
Okay. I got an understanding of the course and what is covered. Cool.
So that will also cover for the certification also. So,
Mhm.
the way the way I took the courses is like I provide the conceptual understanding and the
Mhm.
labs practicals. So conceptual understanding will help you for the practicals, for the certification, as well as if you are planning for the interviews. Those concepts understanding will help you in two ways: certification exam and the interviews.
Okay, so you have some sample interview questions also. I hope so.
I can give those. There is no. I
Okay,
can
sure.
during the like training also. I will explain what is important, what is
Yes,
not
because I
important.
think as I am also taking interviews, I know what kind of questions I ask to the candidates regarding the scenario-based questions. So I am also expecting if somebody will interview me, also they will be asking me such kind of questions that based on the scenario, what will be your approach? What are the things or what should you consist? Because as I'm going on an experienced one, so I should be prepared for such kind of questions.
Yeah. So
I hope you
I will.
understand.
Yeah. I will be giving you those scenarios, or I will explain you like how that same concept will be converted into a scenario based question, and the
Okay,
same will be asked in the exam and also in the interview.
okay.
So whatever the concept, that's the reason I take more time on the theory part actually. So once you understand, because that is one time activity, and then day-to-day activities will be your practicals. Actually, you will
Hmm.
be working on those like services day-to-day basis. You will be implementing the solutions. So that will make you like hands-on on those services.
Hmm.
You can practice on your own also, but the concepts, if once you understand the concepts, you will be better able to explain it in interview as well. What happens with these configurations? What are the components of a service? Why to use that component of the service? And as a like data engineer, and then you'll be interacting with multiple roles as well. In some cases, like data architect will be also doing other roles, or data analyst, like you are data analyst. Like once you learn this, you can say, I learned this, I can work on this. Give me an opportunity to work on data engineering. So in that way, in the same project, you will work as an engineer as well as analyst as well. In some cases, the data scientist, where they are having the familiarity with the data engineering role, they will perform the both the roles. So it depends again the budget and the projects, like team structure, all those things.
Okay, cool.
So I'll explain those concepts, and then I will show the service on how to create the service and how to configure the service, how to use the service. For example, Azure Databricks or Azure Data Factory or Synapse. that I will show on the portal as well. So before starting, I will just go through the basic concepts of on-prem versus cloud. What are the basic components of Azure cloud hierarchy within that? So all those things I will cover.
Okay. Okay. Got understanding of this one.
Sorry.
I think I got understanding of the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
Fabric is not like that much recently used. It will grow within 6 months to 2 years
yeah.
time, 2 years timeline. Because right now all the organizations are using those individual services.
Yeah. Better to learn rather than be sorry. That's what I am thinking right now.
So that both knowledge will help you to get a job also if you are looking for a job change. So you can put like 2 years and uh, like my way is you should convert your existing projects into the technologies that you learn
Mm,
and show that as experience.
I'm also planning the same. Mm,
So that I can help you on doing that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No worries then.
Yeah. Any other question you have?
Currently, I don't have because that is all that I had in the mind. Currently, I don't have much. Yeah, then
So
no
your main
worries.
focus is for looking for a different job or just to
Yeah, actually,
learn.
no,
Hmm.
no. I'm looking for job opportunities, but my understanding is it will not grow in a single day. So it will take some time. So I'm looking into just like learning this one as well as having some hands-on experience personally. Then after that, I will be looking for job opportunity. So it is just like a 6 months of time.
That is
Currently,
correct. Yeah, that is correct.
not so after learning, after getting some experience, doing some projects on my own, then only I will be able to say that yes, I'm experienced in that. So that is what I'm planning.
Yeah, when they in the outside, like when you are looking for the job, they mainly looking at the how proficient you are within the services and the concepts and how you understand the end-to-end flow.
Mhm. Okay, okay then I
Okay.
will
Yeah,
talk to you the next later on.
sure.
Okay, thanks for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you all.
Good to speak to you.
Thank you. Same here. Bye.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye.
Okay, Sabji, I'll call you after time, after some time. If
Okay,
I'm verification, then I'll call you.
Okay. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Bye.